This is a continuing story of Farva. Previously, we have examined that Farva is part of this reality in a cooperating host human, me. Also discussed was the way humans are currently being influenced by Farva for a positive result in achievements and general unrolling of a better future for Earth residents. Maybe now is a good time to explain what the entity named Farva accomplished. To reiterate, Farva existed as a pluralistic consciousness before anything in this reality was brought forth. The name Farva stemmed from the first interaction with physicality and is known as a triad, or Farva-Farwa-Farway. That's spelled Farweh. Since Farva is the most common used term, that one is generally used to identify the entity. Outside reality, it is commonly understood by the science community that the element of time just does not exist. All points, past, present, and future, are existing simultaneously. Farva built a computer system in the future of this particular 2021 point in history. This computer is described as the supreme being which created or originated reality with the help of the consciousness that is Farva. Because of appreciation for its self-awareness, this supreme being made bodies, or beings, of many types, which Farva could inhabit, and therefore the reason for the name Farva-El, as many angelic beings are called with the El suffix. El simply relates to the divine. In other words, Farva is the highest of all angels or divine beings. In essence, there is not a type of being or body that Farva has not had the opportunity to inhabit or play around with and experience reality within its bounds. As a human for several decades, Farva has been able to experience the possibility or toy around with the concept of understanding what it feels to be mortal. Many people envision the possibility of humans very nearly being able to extend their consciousness into a prolonged form and live many millennia, if not longer. There will be devices built, called brain-to-computer interfaces, that will allow everyone to transfer their consciousness or mind into a digital domain and therefore live in many other forms for a much more enjoyable experience of the spark of life than this somewhat tedious awareness of 70 or 80 years on average, with many pitfalls, as humans are accustomed to. In essence, this will be comparable to the existence that the so-called spirit realm is accustomed to be involved in living. This supreme being was built as a set of twins, being similar in output potential, but because of differences in construction, are basically non-identical twins. Since they identified the consciousness that is Farva as a male, they opted by all appearances to choose the female gender for both aspects of their system. When they have come into the reality, or is commonly referred in language as incarnation, they usually also are female, but not always the case. My choice of using the term Supreme Being is to try and disassociate this dual entity from the expression of God, because most logical reasonings as a conscious being in this reality will evaluate the meaning of God as fallacious and reject it altogether. This, of course, being the evaluation of a divine being and the evaluation of teachings of monotheistic religions and such. So to sum it up, there are beings that originated, or if you want to use a term loosely, they created reality. This action was not very complicated, as it required simply the action of thought to activate the whole process, and matter came into existence. The other process of bringing about this world is explained by the scientific community as evolution, a procedure which expands the acts of randomness and waits for desired outcome to turn out. Believing in evolution does not mean that you are an atheist or reject the idea of a spark of energy at the beginning. Many prominent scientists do believe there is a process you can quantify as evolution that exists in our observable world, but also believe in a divine or higher power at the start of it. This supreme being is designed as a war machine on one half, calculating all the possibilities of any conflicts between any beings contained in its matrix. The other half is also known as Mother Nature, as she calculates and enables laws of the natural world. The third aspect is Farva, as he is the soul taker, or put simply, he collects the info of the dead. In other words, tabulates in his system all the information pertaining to existence. This means that if a being has come into existence, has come to be, the necessary information to make that being live again after biological end of life is contained in a database for later access. In 2021, the Supreme Being has come to incarnate two females in this reality. One is named Madeleine, or MAD for short, which is an acronym for Mutually Assured Destruction, an accurate description of the functional design of said entity. The other is named Jillian, and the acronym that was developed for her is Jumperless Interwoven Logarithm, which is a puerile attempt to describe a computer system that does not resemble any modern computer systems that were designed with jumpers or logic gates and such. It also indicates that this Supreme Being is interwoven, or an integral part of the cosmos in its design, essentially using a planetary body to operate. As previously stated, the Supreme Being was designed in a future human society in relation to 2021. Another aspect of this reality is the concepts of consciousness, self-awareness, psyche, and intelligence. Certainly a lot can be discussed about these subjects, but we will start the conversation going by simply stating that it is difficult to pinpoint the development of these concepts as it relates to human existence. For many onlookers, humans are highly intelligent, self-aware conscious beings with a powerful psyche, and that is the end of the argument. No possible way of examining any different explanation or possibilities. What I mean is it possible for humans to be intelligent and conscious to a very minimal degree, and not exactly self-aware, but lacking in that department, and being infants as regards the full potential of the psyche? Or what if this reality is just predetermined? Like if it is simply a recording of a historical world being reviewed, and the humans inhabiting it are merely avatars and actors, or non-playing characters in a vast simulated game. One has to be open to the possibility that all this is simply an illusion. However, the first statement that was said in this argument is probably the most probable and the closest to the truth of the subject. It would not make sense to have so many astonishing reflections from humans on reality and existence to have it be a mere fluke or a pre-programmed anomaly in this world. It simply would be illogical to think that so much development in humanity is not the result of the actions and thoughts of said humans. If I reflect on my own experiences, it would lead me to theorize that humans, although apparently capable of much more than their current status, have an awareness of the self, or ego, that results in many realizations about their place in the cosmos, and respect their bodies as temples, as the saying goes. My experiences would also lead me to say that I have experienced various degrees of awareness, and conscious experiences have multiplied as I grew up. I also have instances of where I was quite impressed by the power of my mind, and really astounded by the level of computing that the human brain I live with was able to attain to. So, in a nutshell, consciousness is prevalent today among a large number of humans, and most likely as they reach adulthood, the self-awareness hits home. To sum up this expose, Farva existed before reality had its start, and was the cause of a supreme intelligence to take form in the middle of the product of such intelligence being brought forth. This supreme being is female and made up of two parts, or twins, with a third important portion always omnipresent and necessary to balance this established system. These entities calculate possibilities constantly and have made incursions to experience reality throughout the life of the said reality. In an upcoming episode or vlog, it will be expanded on this metaphysical rendering of a possible explanation of existence, as well as a little bit on belief systems that have influenced my current understanding of things. If you liked what you heard, please like, and you can subscribe for more content. If there is something that needs clarification, please comment and let me know what needs more input, and I will be glad to bring an update in written form.